So yeah, a few things today. Whoops, I think I'm covering the mic. Yeah, I got my family crests out because yeah, I got information that they were starting to infect yeah, my whole family tree actually, jumping back and doing that. This kind of snowballed out of control because these people were really pissed off when they found out what kind of mum I actually was. I think they expected some meth skank mum, and that couldn't be more further from the truth. And yeah, once they started watching me in my home and realised that, people were really triggered, particularly women who were threatened, I guess is the best way to say, by that. And yeah, it basically called out a hit on me. My son was already trafficked in 2017 at Lowell McEwen Hospital. And, you know, 7 years I stayed at Northfield with him. I think there's somebody else living in that place now. They appear to look like me. And that's ridiculous. They don't look like me. They're the same height and got dark hair, is from what I can tell. So something's going on there, and they're posing as me, I think, or they're there shutting that down so that it can't be viewed, which is ridiculous. Like, if anyone's tapped in to their higher nature, you're operating outside of this place. So no one can touch you. No one can intercept your information or your connection, like to your higher self or your children or any loved ones, you know, that kind of thing. And no one can take your consciousness or destroy it. It just can't happen. Energy can't be killed. It can be transmuted. And that's the key point to remember, I think, is like, you know, when you do pass over, you're either going to give yourself up to something else because you believe that, you know, you're going back to something else, or you're going to grow and expand, like, within your own energy and move forward. Like, that's the way I feel. I would never offer that kind of advice because that is deadly serious, like, advice, you know, to offer someone at the end of their time. I don't think anyone should be offering advice, like, for transitioning. Just putting it out there, what you think, and then people can do what, you know, people can find the information they want and make their own choice, which is what I did, you know. I don't now believe, I will not be sort of integrating with God, whoever calls himself God, because I've had dealings with that, this situation, and I'm interested in growing and expanding, and I did come here to help, like, to, you know, infuse some of my energy from the place I came from. I was made visible and spotted, which happens to people. Most people out there call them light workers. I don't really know what that means. I don't really aspire to that kind of title. They were saying ascension key. There's all sorts of different things, but either way, you've come here to do something, right? And yeah, this was hijacked. Someone found me in 2019. They were probably watching me way before that, but in about 2019 is when they hijacked me and came in and attached someone to me consciously, which is high level stuff. Like, to attach two consciousnesses or even more. Yeah, very high level. This is not done at a grassroots level. So they have, you know, they connect to higher realms and things for assistance for that. And there's been so many lies on, I think, everybody's behalf, specifically on my behalf, that I know about. Somebody's actually advocating for me in these like places. I should move around a bit. Someone's advocating for me in these respects, and also lying, you know, about my very existence, to be honest, like everything. There's not one thing that they haven't lied on yet. Not one thing. But yeah, the disgusting like nature of what they're doing here. This is a massive harvesting of everybody's children. They're bringing children. My stomach's really bad. They're churning my stomach. I think they're accelerating cancer in my stomach by realm jumping me around. Sometimes they're like, oh, the girl doesn't even know she's been gone for, you know, this long. Or the girl doesn't even know she's been down there and we've done this to her. And so I'm on some kind of craft or being moved somehow. Because yeah, I've got really bad stomach problems at the moment, and we're being crushed. I think a lot of us are. I'm noticing now. Either that or that's part of a, you know, conspiracy type bullshit thing to get me to act a certain way. This whole thing has been like that theme throughout the whole thing. You know, they'll come at me with something as if like, I'm a test subject. Okay, they treated my son like a test subject. They'll come at me with something and then they'll wait for me to counter. Or I'll hear him in the background say, tell the girl this, I want to see how she reacts. Show her this, I want to see how she reacts. All this kind of stuff. This is someone who's mapping me, and they're literally raping me blind. And I don't know how much longer I can last. Energetically, I'm so depleted, as all these people are. They just rob everything out of you. And the funniest part about, I can't even believe I say that anymore. I'm gonna try and not say that because nothing's funny. The worst part about all this is the fact that they're pushing this ridiculous bullshit out there to people. That this is, you know, something that's supposed to happen. And this is, oh, don't worry, look away, you know, it's, this is being handled. Or, I know this is a process we have to go through. Or this has to happen. The girls volunteer, all these kind of things that are absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish. They're torturing, killing us here. And I think all the people that they've brought here into Blakeview are people that are connected somehow to either the planet or whatever they're trying to do here. And this is some sort of new Babylon, new world order type stuff. Actually, I don't really know what New Babylon is. Scrap that. I don't know. I don't actually know what that is. And they've admitted that. They've even admitted that. I've got a few hypnotists trying to put me down right now. They're all over the neighborhood, hypnotizing people. As I walk around, I can't sleep right now, so I was just out the front walking around. Every time I lay down, you feel like you weigh 20 tons. So I think they remote target and crush you that way. I don't know if all the chakras, maybe the people who are connected to the chakras from the planet are all here, but whoever's all here in this neighborhood under this net, we're playing a role that they want. I know I've got connections to Egypt, and I know I'm a divine mother, this kind of stuff. Like, there's just certain things I know, right? And I'm sure there's certain things other people know. The problem is they've detached all of us, disconnected all of us from each other, and none of us can even communicate or contact each other. I don't even know if all these people are alive in these houses. I'm starting to actually wonder, because I've been walking around for a few nights now, and most of the houses have insulation all over the windows. Not most. Some of the houses have insulation over the windows. Other houses have like lights on and a window cracked. And these things that, like these remote targeters or out-of-body targeters, because there are those as well, I think, running around. I'm feeling things whooshing through, which makes me think that it's more present than remote. Remote targeters, I can even see them, right? I was laying in bed and fully like being heavily targeted, open my eyes and I can see all the little dots. They appear like little tiny little red dots. Yeah, and the second that I spot one, they disappear. But the ones like whooshing around that are present here, they come through like windows and doors, things like that. Unless it's a portal in a wall. I'm not sure if they've shut down all of mine yet, but there was a portal right there. Right there. There was whooshing, beings coming from there and going through there into that portal. Haven't seen that now for a little bit, so I'm not sure. And also my video is being blocked, and what do they call it when they put like frequency stuff all over it to sort of scramble it? My baby girl. Still very hard to figure out. Yeah, it's been emotional last few days with Jelly. I'm just trying to, even though I know someone else is in there, I know that's her little body. And yeah, I'm gonna have to make a decision, I think, as to do something, because she's sort of just being puppeted at the moment, and that's not fair either. The cats in the neighborhood are picking up things. I've heard communications that they're collecting stuff, like they lift their tails and they're collecting energy. This is the weirdest thing I've ever said in my life, but this is what's happening right here. Jelly's tail went really fat during the period where they were doing all these tunnels. Swelled up really fat, and she was constantly holding it up, and yeah, really strange. The tunnels we haven't heard open at all for 2 nights, and I'm really, I don't know, haven't heard that for 2 nights. Now they're getting to the final stages, because there's a woman a few houses down. I just had an altercation with, this is what it is here, okay? We're in this kind of place where we're all being tortured to death, so this is what it is. Woman down the road has been communicating on the phone, right, with what sounds like members of my family. Whether this is like part of the bullshit psyop thing and this is AI voice, I don't know who in their right mind would do that and for what purpose. But she's been talking to members of my family on the phone. And they're even speaking about, things that other family members. And so I've gone down tonight when I heard her having a conversation, and she's mentioned someone in my family's name. and then someone else in my family's name, and they're having a conversation as if she knows her, as if she is this person's partner. And I just walked down there because I can hear someone I know's voice, and I said, you know, who are you? And she's come out and she's sort of, you know, asking me to leave, blah, blah, blah. I was just standing, like, her gates were shut. So yeah, what is this? And, oh wow, this must be an important piece of information, because I'm getting a real throat slashing right now. Then, when she walked inside, I said, you know, go ahead, call the police. I would love you to call the police, actually. We need some police in here to look at all this, because I don't know what's happening with all these people and these kids. Kids are screaming all the time. You walk out and try and help, and people disappear into the house. Like, people are stealing people's animals because they're going missing. As in, the people are going missing, and I'm seeing, like last night, that woman walking down the street with that dog. That was not her dog. And this is plaguing me. I laid awake just here now. I couldn't even sleep. And it was that. I kept seeing him. And I didn't... It's hard because I didn't make... You know, tonight, laying there, I thought, that's not her dog, and I figured out what was happening. Whereas at the time, I was suspicious and I was following her, but I didn't. If I had known, I would have literally walked straight up to her and said, hey, and you know. Anyway, yeah, so this woman's walked inside and acted like she's calling the police. She says, I'm going to say it verbatim because it makes more sense as a dialogue. Oh yeah, she says, police, please. And then immediately someone says something, and she says, I need someone in the backyard now. And like yells, now. And I thought, and I yelled out, that's a little colloquial for talking to the police, isn't it? She tells me it's her son. So I said, okay, and like walked off, you know, like still wondering why I'm hearing my family members' voices over the phone. And I heard her mumbling something like, if this bitch fucks this up for us, we're almost done. So when they say almost done, they've raped and trafficked all of our children in here. They've murdered people. They've robbed billions of dollars off people. And all down in a tunnel system that they've had spread out over the neighbourhood. There's been torture. So this has been a massive torture, money-making effort. Somebody's been paying, investing, in this dirt. The hardest thing for me, I think, right now is the sobering fact that it's only just occurred to me what I've been used for, and nobody survives this psychological torment. They knew that because I did, and I actually threw them down, and that has nothing to do with me. That has to do with the evolution of time. Do you know what I mean? Like, as things move forward. I don't know. I don't really know, but yeah, sitting here recording this, knowing where I want to be and where I should be is in the corner, curled up. So they knew that this would torture people to death. And they sold it as an ascension. And I think they've actually used me as she is grabbing me right now. This fucking bitch. I am in so much pain, emotional pain. And every time I start to feel that emotional pain, she comes in and grabs me. There's something going on with the water that's flowing into that thing. I was just over there investigating it, and it's actually really interesting. I'm wondering which person, because there's got to be a person. Oh, wow, spit it out. People closest to me, I think, have been used, and somebody is literally siphoning my destiny and siphoning me out. Like everything, all my divine knowledge, my connection to, you know, that realm, and all my sexual energy, connection to my home planet, all of it. And, you know, it gets even worse when they start doing holograms, appearance. They've been ticker taping me, basically examining me, mapping what they want, and then they design avatars. And I think that they juice these avatars up or dust them up so that they can use them for bait, I guess. It's weird because there's a car across the road at that house that has a number plate cup. And that picture, like that symbol from Gawler across the road from where I grew up. And I keep looking at that again and again, and it's just so obvious, like, that it's a vessel, like a cup, a vessel, and then a block over it. And the block over it is what is on the outside. So that's what's transmitting. The vessel has been blocked and mimicked, because there's also that nucleus inside of it, like a seed. So they've taken a seed from me. I know that. That was in the room that night where, yeah, had that experience. It wasn't rape. These people sent out, like, got my frequencies activated, and it was like bait, I guess, bait for anyone who was keyed into that frequency, came swooping in, and that's what they wanted. And I don't know what happened to them. I think they've done this with other girls maybe, and men. Yeah, and men. There are people I love that are really good parents, and you know, people I would trust my life with. I would actually trust my life, my son's life with. Yeah, okay. You know what? If they hold me back emotionally, it's less pain, right? I think what they're doing to our stomachs is every time I walk into a shop to buy some food, the ground shakes like we've had a tremor, and I hear someone call out, drop us down or something like that, and yeah, then they're all joking that all the food's rotten or it's toxic because it's not designed for us. Like it's dead. So yeah, they're killing us on a multitude of levels here, and nobody's doing anything about it. I mean, there's a lot of talk, and I have actually intercepted conversations that are pretty sensitive. One of them being relating to, I don't know if I could say it on YouTube, but an attempt on somebody's, on a high profile person's life. I've heard those things being discussed. So yeah, really not sure. And I also intercepted the conversation with what was definitely artificial intelligence, or Andromedan, or Zeta, something like that, where they were talking about switching out people's consciousnesses and getting them to abuse their own, or getting them to abuse kids. They're the ones doing it to our kids. And they're using people's bodies for it, so that when the shit goes down, these people are going to be left with it. Yeah, really heavy. They're not even letting my videos get out, and I've even heard my voice, but not my words. I've heard people listening like to my voice and speaking about mental health, which is not something I'm going to be speaking about. Anyone who knows anything knows that that's the first thing someone's going to say to discredit you. And those people that have, you know, in the public eye died and it's been labelled mental health, it's not. 90% of that is not. These people have been tortured. But yeah, still here and remaining strong. Nobody is taken any part of me, and you know, when it comes time, I'm not going to feed this beast anymore. I'm not giving myself up to them to let them do this anymore. Yeah,